You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now it's 7. An 18-year-old arrested after pointing a gun at someone in a Miami park.
But first, a family business in Lamar, Missouri is back on track after a devastating fire.
And we've got drizzly, foggy, cool conditions today. We're going to break down your forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. Just after 7 a.m. now on this Monday, March the 2nd. Meteorological spring kicking off yesterday. This week, severe weather preparedness week. Unfortunately, you need to try and get some of severe weather preparedness week crammed into today. As we do have a potential severe threat over multiple days by the second half of this week. We're going to get to all of that in just a moment. But you may recall, first, if you've lived here long enough, Sullivan Furniture in Lamar, headquartered up there. I bought a really cool desk from there a long time ago. Family business still running, facing some challenges last year.
Yeah, 3 generations of hard work was nearly destroyed within seconds during a warehouse fire last July in Lamar, Missouri.
Now, a family business is back on track. KOAM's Nellie Lopez spoke with the CEO of that family business to find out how he refused to let his great-grandfather's 50-year legacy come to an end.
Got a phone call literally in the middle of the night at midnight and went up there and watched this fire just consume this warehouse.
Anthony Jones received a call that would change everything at midnight. The Lamar O'Sullivan building, which housed more than 80% of his family's business operations, was engulfed in flames. The fire destroyed $7 million worth of his family's business assets and threatened to end a legacy that began in 1974.
Obviously, the thoughts and swirls and emotions of, oh my gosh, this could be my family's legacy. This could be the end of my family's business.
The next day, he ensured his legacy didn't vanish.
We didn't have the luxury of taking 9 months to figure it out. We had to figure it out like that. The amount of things that we had to accomplish and the time frame to do it, that to me was by far the most difficult thing.
He made one post on Facebook after the fire, asking about available warehousing space in the Midwest Missouri. In the midst of 1,000 shares and comments, one warehouse offering stood out.
We actually got to keep our entire team together, and now we're just a little further drive away than Lamar. With the opportunity that these larger warehouses brought to the table, now we don't just have a warehousing company for what we're building, we have a warehousing opportunity even for everyone in the area if they need a great warehousing partner.
Not even a year after the fire, Anthony finds himself not just expanding the family business, but being a support for other companies dealing with the current warehousing shortage.
I believe business can be a powerful place that not just tries to build a big business, but we actually get to build big people and big dreams. That's what I saw from my grandpa. So my hope is that I got to step into something that is a 50-year legacy, and I'm excited to try to carry that on for another 50 years.
In Jasper County, Missouri, Nellie Lopez, KOAM News.
Anthony expanded the business to include a warehousing center and their own online farm superstore called Agzaga.
According to the State Fire Marshal's office, the O'Sullivan fire was classified as incendiary, and 2 juveniles were detained shortly after the fire. Of course, like I said, if you live in Lamar, you know it was the O'Sullivan place. And they moved in, had their stuff. Unfortunately, those kids did something pretty terrible, but they're recovering.
And it's such it's such an iconic business. I mean, even while we were watching that story, Chris and I were both quoting, the old slogan of, boots, and more boots.
Jones Boots, Sheldon, Missouri. So, I mean, it's something, it stuck with you. It still sticks with me. I still remember those ads. So, very good to see that they are on the path to recovery. As for us, our drought and rain deficit on the path to recovery, unfortunately, it's starting to bring some issues with it. We're going to get to those a little later. First, we got to get through our Monday. We're going to start with a live look from the Westco camera here at the KOAM studios. It is located almost directly above our studio. I don't recall exactly where on the roof it is. Obviously, it's looking out toward Highway 69. I think from my position here in this room, it's over there-ish. But either way, you can see it's a little foggy, it's a little drizzly, it's a little breezy, you can't tell it's chilly, but I assure you, it's a little cool out there as well. KDOT camera 69,400, soggy, foggy. That's what we're dealing with from that perspective. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line. Just those wet roadways, cloudy skies overhead, light drizzle out there as well. So again, some of our fog here is fog, and what I mean is actual fog. but some of it's just heavy drizzle. Remember, the fog tracker is really a visibility tracker. When we had all that snow, there was no fog, but where we had heavier bands of snow, you'd see reduced visibility. So we call it the fog tracker. That's its primary purpose, but it's not its only purpose. Along and north of the 44 corridors where this is, from Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Iola, you're still just under a mile of visibility. Yates Center, Independence, right about 2 miles. So slow down. Low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them. We're at 39 in Joplin, 37 in Pittsburgh. We've got this green here, and that's a slightly warmer bubble in our southern counties here. So we've got some mid-upper 40s. Jay, the warm spot at 47. Look at all these 37s. That's our cool temperature, but there's a lot of them out there as we get this day started. Low pressure south and east of us, moving away, brought us the clouds, brought us the weekend showers and storms. We could get some patchy clearing here and there. If you do and you get enough of it, you may be warmer than the rest of us, but it's going to be isolated warming. After 6, initially isolated showers, eventually becoming a little more widespread overnight into tomorrow morning, and maybe even a rumble of thunder or two, but nothing strong or severe expected from that. Our temperature is pretty level, upper 40s, low 50s. Not a lot of movement out there today. East winds 5 to 10. Now we really start to warm up tomorrow. Gusty south winds helping out with that. Then we start to see the potential for strong to severe storms. We're going to break down those details for you in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. An 18-year-old is under arrest after police say he pointed a handgun at someone inside a Miami park. According to the Miami, Oklahoma Police Department, officers were called to the Miami Splash Pad Park just before 10 p.m. Friday after a reported altercation. The caller told dispatch a man wearing a red hoodie pointed a silver and black handgun at them before running from the area. Responding officers located a suspect several blocks away and identified him as an 18-year-old. Police say he was taken into custody without incident and a firearm was recovered at the time of his arrest. The case has now been forwarded to the Ottawa County District Attorney's Office for review and possible prosecution. Well, early Saturday morning, a deadly shooting in Joplin's downtown bar district left one man dead. Officers were called just before 2 a.m. to the 500 block of South Joplin Avenue. When they arrived, they found an adult male in a parking lot with an apparent fatal gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators say the suspect fled before officers arrived. Authorities say this remains an active and ongoing investigation. Anyone with information is asked to contact Sergeant Jason Stump with the Joplin Police Department. We'll continue to follow this developing story and bring you updates on air and online at KOAMNewsNow.com. Joplin firefighters respond to a house fire at the 1800 block of South Virginia Saturday morning. On arrival, crews faced heavy fire at the front of the home. A photo shared by the department shows how intense fire engulfing the home and a vehicle. Residents were able to get out safely, but did suffer minor smoke inhalation. The Joplin Fire Marshal is investigating the cause of the fire. Well, Saturday morning, Academy Sports on South Rangeline in Joplin was closed for a period following a pepper spray incident. Joplin police say an unknown suspect or suspects entered the store and sprayed what appears to be pepper spray. Captain Austin Wolf tells KOAM's Shannon Becker no one was individually targeted. The spray was released into the store, causing customers to quickly exit the building. Joplin Fire and Met's ambulance responded to treat several people for exposure. No one was transported to the hospital. The store was shut down for decontamination, and investigators are working to determine who was responsible. Police say no suspects were located as customers rushed out of the store. If you have any information, you're asked to contact Joplin Police. Well, those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up, I took a trip to Top Cuts Lawn Care Solutions in Carthage to learn more about their upcoming demo day. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Well, we're out here in Carthage today. I'm joined with Micah from Top Cuts Lawn Care Solutions. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Well, you guys have a pretty exciting event coming up at the end of March. You know, we're kind of getting into spring where people are maybe thinking more about their lawn care. And it sounds like it's going to be a good opportunity to maybe learn some more about some of the different, equipment.
Yeah, and it's not just us coming out here. We're going to have different vendors. We're going to have John Deere is going to be out here. Hopefully we'll have some other equipments. We actually have a local guy that's going to be having skid steer attachments out here too. Ferris will actually be bringing out their actual big demo vehicle and their trailers. So if you guys people want to come out and test drive any vehicle, John Deere is going to let you get on anything, you get to compare. We also have a local singer coming. Clint Shields is coming out to sing for us. And it's just going to be interesting. It'll be a big family day. We'd like for everybody to come and try something. I mean, there's nothing around here like this yet, so we'd love for people to come play and be a part of the community.
Amazing. What made you guys want to put something like this together?
I think the biggest thing was no one really took care of the community with having fun with stuff like this. I mean, I usually have to go to Kentucky or Las Vegas to go to these stuff, and why not bring it here to the home?
Amazing. And, there's a lot of families and a lot of, kids especially who love getting to maybe see the equipment. So this sounds like it's going to be a great opportunity to be able to get up close and maybe see something, maybe something mom and dad are interested in, as well as, the kiddo at home.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're surrounded by agriculture and just different construction types. This would be a great time for the dads to bring out their kids and be like, this is what daddy drives, this is what daddy gets to use. So it's an awesome time to see everything that comes, because there's so much equipment around here, but most of us work 9 to 5 and we usually just go home, but we don't get to venture out on what's surrounding us.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not going to be just the equipment. You guys are going to have, some food truck options. It sounds like you're going to have the local singer. So it sounds like it's going to be just a great time in the community.
Yeah, it's just a time to come relax, hang out, listen to some music, get some food. We've got a couple vendors coming right now, hopefully more. And if any business wants to join us in this, you're more than welcome to come. We are not shooting anyone down. More the merrier at this point. Amazing.
So if somebody's, interested in coming, is there any cost to attend or just to take a look?
Nope. The only cost is paying for the food, and then if you want to sign up a vendor, depending on what the vendor is, you will have to pay for a spot, but if not, it's just come as you are.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a great way to kind of get into the spring season. Can you tell us when and where it's going to be happening?
It'll be March 21st here, starting from 10 to 5. And that's just the time. In between those times, you can come out, look, whenever. Heck, if you don't want to buy lunch here, you can come back. But from 10 to 5, it'll be here.
Perfect. And, you said you guys are, still reaching out to vendors, or vendors are welcome to reach out. If somebody's interested in maybe being a part of this, who should they contact?
They can either call here at the shop and talk to Azariah. He's one of the owners here. Or we can provide an email through you guys, whatever is easiest. But we're here at 222 North River Street. Worst case, just come down and introduce yourself, and we'd love just to meet you and see what you got going on.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be so much fun. Thank you so much, Micah, for telling us about it. We'll make sure to get that information linked on our website as well, KYMNewsNow.com. But thank you so much.
So, thank you.
We'll be right back.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News 717 on this Monday morning. Starting again with the fog tracker, we've got reduced visibilities really along and north of the I-44 corridor. So from Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, we're still just under a mile in Iola and about 2 miles. Independence Yates Center, just under 3. Fredonia, Chanute out there. So again, be cautious. Low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them. And with the wet roads, make sure you leave plenty of stopping distance between you and the vehicle ahead of you. Got a low pressure. It's what brought us the rain over the weekend. It's what's brought us our clouds, drizzle, the showers this morning. We're going to have mostly cloudy to cloudy skies. If you get a little clearing done, you might be a little warmer than the rest of us, but I think for the most part, any warm spots are going to be fairly isolated. We should stay pretty cool, seasonably cool today. After 6, isolated showers, and then eventually maybe a few more of those, maybe even some rumbles of thunder early tomorrow morning. Nothing significant expected with this activity, but we could have some rain. Now, on the extended forecast, which you'll see here in just a couple of more minutes, you'll see a lot of AM and PM circles on some of the days. Today, tomorrow, and Thursday specifically. That's because we'll have activity in the morning and then get a gap in the afternoon before we see activity return in the evening. So that's why those circles are up there, because in the middle of the day, we're looking to be dry for the most part on those days. And you can see that on Tuesday. We're dry during the afternoon, late morning, afternoon, and then by early evening, showers, storms start to return again. Now, initially, we're looking at scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. Nothing too crazy is expected at this point with this initial activity. And it might even stop for a moment before we see new development, say 2, 3, 4 a.m. Wednesday. We start getting more thunderstorms, and some of those could be strong to low-grade severe as we get through the first half of the day. By 8, we're looking at Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, Lamar, Nevada, Stockton, and then back around Coffeyville, Independence, Newada, Bartlesville. This activity continues. Another complex pushes out of Oklahoma into southwest Missouri. So now Monette, Mount Vernon, Cassville, Anderson, Pineville, Goodman. We could be seeing some stronger storms out there by about noon Wednesday. We'll have scattered storms throughout the day Wednesday, but we should see the severe threat drop a smidge. All right, and we should just get some thunderstorms. Now, some strong storms not out of the question, but we should see it ease up briefly before we see new development by late evening Wednesday, and some of this activity could be strong to severe. So Stockton, Joplin, Miami, Veneta, Nowata again, back down toward Columbus, Galena. Some of these showers and storms could become strong to severe. So that's why I'm going to show you the 3-day severe weather outlook. And we have a level 1 out of 5 that cuts off here for Wednesday evening into Thursday morning. I wouldn't be surprised if by tomorrow it gets backed up a little further to the northwest. So again, a rumble of thunder 2 tonight. Nothing much expected there. That's what that light green is. This 1 out of 5 risk tomorrow, again, is going to be more so for late tomorrow night, early Wednesday morning. And then this is the Wednesday threat that, again, I wouldn't be surprised if that level 1 out of 5 got backed up just a bit to accommodate for some of the new data we're seeing. But this is day 3, and day 3 gets updated once a day, so it won't be until tomorrow morning that we'll see that change because it'll move to day 2. Then we get beyond that. We've talked about this in the past. There are only 2 categories for the extended severe weather outlook. Additionally, they don't highlight areas unless there's really good agreement in the computer data that an event is going to happen. You can see by Friday, most of the region highlighted for that severe threat, which is why we have concerns there as well. So we're looking at storms from Thursday night into early Friday. Could be strong, potentially severe still. They should wind down a bit by late morning, early afternoon, and then by late evening, storms return after 5, 6 o'clock. These could be strong to severe late Friday, potentially into the first portion of our Saturday before eventually that severe threat transitions south of us, and eventually the thunderstorm and rain activity begins to push out late Saturday. So several days that do bear watching as we head through this week. Really, again, starting tomorrow night, probably through Saturday afternoon. Some drizzle, clouds, temperatures hovering mid-40s, eventually upper 40s, low 50s today, and about 50 tonight. Warmer tomorrow, possible alert days Wednesday, Friday for that severe threat, but really we're looking at those chances Tuesday night through the first half of our Saturday. Temperatures, excuse me, I'm so sorry, into the 60s and 50s. Thank you, Lydia, as we head into next week. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more. In fact, we're going to talk more with Micah Martin with Top Cuts Lawn Care Solutions and teaching Samantha on what you need to do to make sure that mower is officially ready for the spring mowing season.
Well, we're out here in Carthage at the Top Cuts Lawn Care Solutions where, with Micah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And, spring is here, or it's going to be here very soon. And, we were just talking, grass is already growing. It's already getting green. So before you know it, whether you want to or not, you're probably going to be pulling out the lawnmower.
So, way faster than you think. It's here already. Fescue is already trying to pop out.
And nothing is going to ruin your day more, though, than being unprepared for when you want to hit the grass for the first time.
Absolutely. If your mower is not prepared, you will run into troubles. And the last thing you need is tall grass to fight it with the push mower.
Oh. So what are some of the first things that people should look for when, they're trying to start off their season on a good foot?
I say the biggest thing that you need to look into is to check your air filter. If your mower does not have air, it will not run correctly. 2, if you do not have spark in your spark plug, it is always nice to check it. You need to check this because if something's not running or if you're not getting spark, you're not getting anything to your engine. 2, you should always change your oil. I don't care what you do. To make this motor run, you have to have oil. So changing that every season and changing it every so often this season helps out a lot too. And then the biggest thing is your blades. If your blades aren't sharp, they can ruin your grass. If you're not picky about your grass, that's fine. But sharpening your blades really does help you.
Yeah. So why is it so important to, try to stay on top of maintenance when you have, your equipment like this?
It's better to have something than not have it. Mm-hmm. So taking care of something and having the maintenance on it just makes life easier.
Amazing. So if people, are maybe confused as to, how to get started, maybe this is their first time, they just moved into their first home and it's the first time they've really ever had a yard. Are there any things you'd recommend that maybe they keep in mind when they're going to mow for the first time?
Just take your time, especially an average person won't have a mower this big. This is more of a commercial push mower. But the average thing is just have your deck out at a decent height if you're cutting fescue and you want it to look good, higher the better. Tall grass is healthy grass is what I've always been told.
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest things. Keep your yard clean with sticks, rocks. Need to watch out for rocks. Basically how our mower and how the blades are is they suck up. So as it sucks up, it sucks about anything and then it'll just shoot it out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We don't want any projectiles going around.
No, I've broken a couple windows.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And I know that, if you're hitting stuff like rocks and those tree limbs or something that you've not paid attention to, it's also going to mess up your blade, which is probably not a fun time.
Yes, I've bent a couple blades, and then that's another about $20 to $40, depending on what kind of mower you have.
Oh,
yeah, it's not fun.
That's not a great way to start off the kind of grass season.
Absolutely not. But it is all part of it. It will happen, but if you can avoid it, that's the best thing. If not, just take your time if you've never done this. 2, if you ever need help or questions, we'd be more than glad to help you out on that.
Yeah, because I think sometimes maybe people are like, my mower's not working, they think they just have to get a new one, but sometimes maybe you can just take it in and have it looked at.
Yep. Sometimes it is simpler just to bring it in and get it fixed, but I will say a lot of things have turned into it's sometimes easier just to get a new one, but if you take care of it, you can prolong that.
Well, hopefully with those tips and tricks you've offered us today, hopefully, people can get off to that grass season with a great start and can hit the ground running and hit the lawn mowing.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Mike. I think these tips will be really, really helpful as we get into the spring season.
Well, thank you for coming.
We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. I'm Samantha Walker. Missouri utility customers face another delay as state regulators push back their investigation deadline for a third time. The Missouri Public Service Commission has extended its investigation deadline for Liberty Utilities to March 6th. Missouri utility customers must wait at least almost another week for answers from state regulators. The utility investigation probe began 1 year ago after customers complained about billing and service problems. Commission staff have issued 22 additional data requests since September and continue monthly meetings with Liberty officials. The commission originally planned to complete its report by September 30th. The deadline was moved to December, then to February 27th. Staff say they could not meet the February deadline due to continued discovery and other business. The investigation covers Liberty's electric, gas, and water utilities throughout Missouri. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got some patchy fog and drizzle out there this morning, and you can see those cloudy conditions and some of the haze out there from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. Quick check of the KDOT camera just south of Pittsburgh. We've got that haze off in the distance, so light fog, light drizzle. And as we stop at the MoDOT camera 32nd and range line in Joplin, still some wet roadways out there as well, so you need to be careful because it increases your stopping distance. So along and north of I-44 is where our reduced visibility have been all morning. A little bit of improvement in Iola, just over a mile of visibility there. So again, slow down. Low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them, and leave plenty of distance between you and the car ahead of you. We're at 39 in Joplin and Pittsburgh. We've still got this little warm bubble down to the south. So we got 48's the warm spot in Jay, and some 46's Grove, Anderson, Bentonville. We're now a little cooler. We now have a single cold spot, and it's Iola at 35. We had a whole ton of 37s, and that was as cool as it got. But now Iola a little chillier at 35. Low pressure off to our southeast brought us the rain over the weekend. We got the clouds. We'll have mostly cloudy skies out there. If you get some clearing at the right time and it's long enough, you may be warmer than everyone else, but that's if you get that clearing and you can get some sunshine in there to do some warming. Otherwise, a seasonably cool day today. Temperatures don't move much. Mid 40s by 9, going into the upper 40s, low 50s for highs. We kind of level out at about 50. A few showers possible after 6 p.m. A few more heading into tomorrow morning. East winds 5 to 10. Now we've got possible alert days for Wednesday and Friday with the threat of severe weather really starting tomorrow night through at least the first half of Saturday. We're going to break it all down for you in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Thanks, Chris. Trout season is officially underway in Missouri. March 1st was the start of the state's trout catch and keep season, which runs through October 31st. Crews will stock Hickory Creek with rainbow trout for the opener on Tuesday at Morse Park in Neosho. Fishing will begin at 6:30 a.m. Well, after 56 years behind the bar at Frank's Lounge in Joplin, owner Judy Petty is calling last call one more time. For decades, she's been a familiar face and fixture in the community. The bar was one of the first businesses to reopen after the Joplin tornado and has remained a staple ever since. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. I took a trip to the Joplin Humane Society to learn more about their upcoming low-cost vaccine clinic. Well, welcome back. This morning, I'm at the Joplin Humane Society where I'm joined with Tiana Fisher and a very special guest, little Gus Gus, who is a little wiggle worm, but he is oh so cute. He's just one of the many different cats and kittens and dogs that the Joplin Humane Society has. He's a little camera shy this morning.
He's like, I want to go explore, ladies. There's so much to see and do.
He's just looking to find his forever home, I think, is what he's wanting.
So ready for his forever home. He's neutered. He's current on all of his age-appropriate vaccinations, and his little bags are packed.
Oh my goodness. Well, whether you're looking for a little Gus Gus like your own, like here, or if you maybe have a pet at home, you guys have a pretty exciting event coming up this spring that is great for pet owners.
It is. We try and do it every quarter, but we have our low-cost spring vaccine clinic. So it's a great opportunity for everybody to get their pets in, get them up to date on their vaccinations. Really reasonable. And something else that we're doing this spring is we have seen an uptick in positive, heartworm positive dogs. So we're offering $10 heartworm test. So we want to be able to make sure all these pets that are out in the community are negative, and get them on a preventative.
Yes.
But if they do happen to come back heartworm positive, we want to be able to give them the resources they need to help treat that. So definitely come out, get your pets vaccinated, get them tested for heartworms, and that's all going to take place on Friday, the 6th of March, between 9 a.m. and noon, right here at the shelter. First come, first serve. Dogs need to be on leashes, cats, put them in a carrier. But yeah, all those details also are on our website, which is joplinhumane.org.
Amazing. What are some of the vaccines that maybe pet owners will be able to get here?
Yeah, so we'll be doing rabies vaccines, and I don't know if everybody saw a month or so ago, we actually had a positive case here in Jasper County, and they've had a positive in Newton County for rabies. Highly recommend that if you do nothing else, that you get that rabies vaccine.
Stay on top of it.
Stay on top of that. And we're also going to be offering distemper vaccines. So distemper, a distemper parvo vaccine for dogs, and that is obviously for distemper and parvo. And then a distemper Khaleesi kitty cat vaccine for kitty cats. Distemper is something. There
we go.
Distemper is a neurological disease that is spread in the community. It's devastating and often fatal. So vaccinating against that is really important. And with the kitty cats, they get a vaccine for the Khaleesi virus, and that one just breaks my heart because they get these big sores in their little kitty mouths, and it just. So anyway, and everybody knows that parvo is devastating. So getting your dogs, puppies, vaccinated for distemper and parvo, kitties for distemper and Khaleesi. We're also going to do Bordetella for the dogs to help prevent them from getting kennel cough.
Yeah.
There'll be dewormers, flea and tick treatment.
So many great options.
The heartworm testing. We can do feline leukemia FIV testing on the kitty cats. So we've got a little bit of everything going that day. Really reasonable prices. So
amazing. And when you say first come first serve, do people need to make an appointment beforehand, or
nope, just show up. We have plenty, so don't think you need to be here at like 7 a.m. to be first in line. So just anytime between 9 and noon, show up. We'll get you in. And yeah,
so if there's a pet owner who's maybe unsure about, whether this is for them or, whether they should vaccinate, is there anything you'd say about, the importance of vaccinations?
We've seen them come in where they've had distemper, or they've had parvo, or they've had Khaleesi, and an ounce of prevention is worth the pain and suffering your pet will not go through if they are vaccinated. So they're devastating diseases, and they are preventable. So that's, yeah.
Well, where can people go to find more information or see more about this event?
Yeah, so follow us on Facebook. We have lots of stuff happening on Facebook. Keeps you up to date with everything. Oh, what's that doggy saying, Gus Gus? But also, all that information is also on our website, joplinhumane.org. Oh, there's a dog over there! It's a busy morning here at the shelter.
Yes.
Always something going on. So, Gus, here's a dog barking in the background.
Well, we're going to make sure we get all of that information linked on our website as well, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, thank you so much, Tiana, and especially you, Gus, for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for being here.
We're going to be right back.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:43 now on this Monday morning. So we do have the fog again, and some of it's just from some heavier drizzle out there. Long and north of the I-44 corridor from Missouri to Kansas to Oklahoma. Iola just over a mile visibility. Pittsburgh, Yates Center, both just under 2. Fort Scott about 2. So slow down. Low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them, and leave plenty of distance between you and the car ahead of you. Low pressure off to our southeast. It's what brought us the showers through the weekend and those rumbles of thunder. It's what's going to bring us some showers again this evening and keep our skies pretty cloudy out there through the day. After 6, isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder possible. Then a little closer to sunrise tomorrow. A few more scattered showers. Again, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder, but we're not overly concerned about that activity. It's what's going to start happening late Tuesday, really through the rest of the week, off and on here. So what we've got most of Tuesday afternoon is dry. It's cloudy, but dry. Then by the evening, scattered showers, a few more thunderstorms start rolling in. This first wave looks at this point to not be overly impressive, may even start to fall apart. But once we get past 3 a.m., going into Wednesday morning, new thunderstorms begin to develop across the area, and some of these could be strong to severe. Now, with our severe events over the next several days, all hazards are possible. Right now, the greatest concerns in each situation is going to be for large hail and damaging wind gusts, but an isolated tornado or two cannot be ruled out, especially going into our Wednesday, then Wednesday evening into early Thursday. Friday is our greatest concern for severe weather overall, which we'll get to. So by Wednesday morning, showers, thunderstorms. Some of these could be strong to severe. By 8, we've got Fort Scott, Nevada, Lamar, Stockton, Pittsburgh, then back to the west, Coffeyville, Independence, Newada, Bartlesville. We go to about noon. We get another complex out of Oklahoma into southwest Missouri. So by noon, Monette, Cassville, Mount Vernon, Anderson, Pineville. Showers, storms. Some could be strong to low-grade severe. Then we have scattered storms throughout the daytime hours on Wednesday. And then by Wednesday evening, here comes another round of showers, storms, some of which, again, could be strong, possibly severe, late Wednesday into the early morning hours on Thursday. Now, the short-range future track here runs out of data at 1 a.m. Thursday, but you can see these showers and storms out there posing a problem. Again, this light green is just for a rumble of thunder or two this evening overnight. Then we have the level 1 out of 5 risk tomorrow, but this is, again, tomorrow night into early Wednesday morning. And then for Wednesday afternoon, evening, this level 1 out of 5, I think, again, based on new data this morning, this won't be updated again until tomorrow morning. I think that's probably going to be backed up a bit to the northwest. Then we go into the rest of the week. Thursday, severe threat off to the west into central Oklahoma. By Friday, though, this is where our concern lies. This is a very broad area, actually, of potential severe weather. There's only 2 categories for the extended severe weather outlook, and they only put these out when data is fairly consistent or in very good agreement of an event happening. Friday's the day that really, again, Friday night into Saturday morning, that we are most concerned about in terms of the severe threat being a little greater. So here's what we've got early Friday. Those storms from Thursday night into early Friday morning continuing. Some could be strong to severe. They should start winding down by late morning, early afternoon. Might even get a pause, and then we'll see new development after about 6 o'clock or so Friday evening. This activity could be strong to severe. And what we're looking at potentially is a line of storms, which would bring damaging winds as the greatest concern, followed by large hail and the potential for spin-up tornadoes within that. And if we get any isolated supercells ahead of that line, that could also bring up that tornado threat as well. So it's something we want to watch very closely over the next several days. It continues into the first half of our Saturday. So we don't have a severe risk area highlighted in our region for Saturday at this time. That could change, though, as we get a little closer. And then by late Saturday, early Sunday, we see the showers and storms begin to clear out. Through this morning, again, those cloudy skies, some drizzle, some fog out there, just kind of hovering in the mid-40s. Our highs today into the upper 40s and low 50s, and about 50 overnight tonight. Much warmer tomorrow. Possible alert days Wednesday and Friday. Warm weather building in. And of course, we're going to keep an eye on those shower and thunderstorm chances. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, Australian photographer Maddie Smith has been named Underwater Photographer of the Year for 2026. His award-winning photo was of a pair of southern elephant seal pups in a rock pool taken on Falkland Islands.
Now, Smith says the image was inspired by watching dozens of baby seal pups climbing over each other on the rocks at sunset. He used a special homemade dome to capture the picture.
Smith's aptly named Rockpool Rookies was among more than 7,900 entries for the award. Other category winners included a Japanese Navy shipwreck,
a female octopus guarding her eggs, and the exact moment that clownfish eggs hatch. Talk about some very cool photos out there, and I can't imagine getting in there and being able to take some of those pictures.
No, like so many of these pictures nowadays are like so clear and crisp. I'm like, they look like paintings, you know, like they're too perfect.
They're almost too perfect, but that's just technology helping us out. Well, a group of teenagers gathering at a park in Buenos Aires dressed as animals as part of a new social media trend. Yesterday's gathering is the latest for Argentina's Therians, individuals who say they identify mentally, spiritually, and I didn't look up until just now, psychologically with non-human animals.
The viral social media trend #Therian has gained traction on platforms like TikTok. Argentina has led all other Latin American countries in engagement with the hashtag. Now, while psychologists say the new movement has generated a mix of confusion,
which animal has two tails?
Laughter, and even anger, some Therians argue the trend is about more than identifying as an animal. Others say it has helped build a community where everyone is accepted.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I witnessed an individual dressed as a creature over the weekend. I'm not going to say where or anything, but it was in town. I have not seen one personally, not to that degree, until that particular day this weekend, and now apparently there's a whole festival there. In America, I think what we do, we call them furries.
Totally different thing. But you know, maybe
I can't keep up with it.
Maybe you just need some coffee. A self-confessed coffee addict traveled to Durham, New Hampshire to get her hands on Dunkin's latest menu item, a 48-ounce bucket of iced coffee.
Okay, I like this one.
Stephanie Bocci showed off her beverage bucket on TikTok while Dunkin was testing the concept at select stores in Massachusetts and New Hampshire.
But she told People magazine that she got up at 5 a.m. to drive for more than an hour to Durham for the $7.90. That's actually not a bad price. $7.99 coffee pail. After hearing about the item from a friend in the area the night before. Says, I got my coffee bucket, Bucci says in a video, showing off her purchase. So good, best idea, Dunkin'.
Bucci told People the giant drink lasted her at least 5 hours.
You know, KFC had a thing. You could get a bucket of soda.
Yeah.
You could get a whole bucket of soda. It was like $4 almost, but it lasted me most of the day as well. Go in there, check your forecast. Wake up recap right after this.
This is your Wake Up Recap for March 2nd. Your top stories to start your day. An 18-year-old is under arrest after police say he pointed a handgun at someone inside a Miami park. According to Miami police, officers were called to the splash pad park just before 10 p.m. Friday after a reported altercation. The caller told dispatch a man wearing a red hoodie pointed a silver and black handgun at them before running from the area. Responding officers located a suspect. He was taken into custody without incident, and a firearm was recovered at the time of his arrest. Well, Joplin firefighters respond to a house fire at the 1800 block of South Virginia Saturday morning. On arrival, crews faced heavy fire at the front of the home. A photo shared by the department shows intense fire engulfing the home and a vehicle. Residents were able to get out safely, but did suffer minor smoke inhalation. The Joplin Fire Marshal is investigating the cause of the fire. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And temperatures today hovering upper 40s, low 50s. If you get a little sunshine out there, might be a pinch warmer. East breeze 5 to 10, otherwise cloudy. Isolated showers in the evening. Temperatures, some laziness, that's a fact. We're just going to kind of level out wherever you are. You're going to just level out this evening. Could get a rumble of thunder or two overnight. Nothing we're worried about. We have possible alert days Wednesday, Friday. We really do have a strong to severe thunderstorm threat from Tuesday into Wednesday morning. So Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Wednesday night into Thursday morning, Thursday night, throughout the day on Friday. Again, Friday night through the first half of our Saturday. So this is severe weather preparedness week, but you need to kind of cram it all down into today and tomorrow to be ready. Make sure you have your plan for the potential for a few days of strong to severe thunderstorms as we head through this week. Temperatures warm up tomorrow too, by the way, back into the mid-70s.
But that weather is definitely going to be something to keep an eye on.
We do need to watch it very closely.
Well, something other people have been watching very closely is the horse's voice box, evidently, because apparently it's okay to look a gift horse in the mouth. Researchers took a deep dive into the horse's throats in order to figure out why they whinny.
Now, they discovered the high-pitched sound from these large animals is basically a combination of singing and whistling simultaneously. The finding came from a study done in France. Keeping an eye on those voice boxes.
Well, the researchers say when horses make a low-pitched sounds, their vocal folds would vibrate, but the larynx remains still for those high-pitched sounds.
Certainly interesting. The more you know, the more you learn. So that's it for now, though. We'll be back today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.